Everybody, welcome to the show. I am your host, your expert life strategist, Karena Calhoun, and I am super excited to have another day to be with you all and to spend some time with another amazing guest on the show. Super excited today. We've got some great information that is going to be released to you all. So I am super excited to welcome Miss Charlene, the money coach, to the show. Hey, Charlene, how are you doing today?
I am fine, thanks, Karina. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, excellent, amazing, wonderific, fantabulous, all that good stuff. Charlene, tell us where in the world you are.
So I am based in the Caribbean. So if you hear an accent, I'm Jamaican by birth, but I currently live in the Cayman Islands.
I love it. I love it. I have never been to the islands. None
Oh,
of them. None of them. It is on my list to go.
we
So
need
tell
to
us
change
about the
that.
Cayman Islands. I don't think I've talked to anyone that has been there.
Ah, so it's an hour from Miami. So it's
Okay.
a quick hop to get here from Miami, but it's like in between Jamaica and Cuba. So think of sun, sand, beach, 80-degree weather
Oh
pretty
my
much
goodness.
all year round. Think about hurricanes though,
Hmm. Hmm.
but it is pretty much paradise on a little strip of land.
I love that. I'm sure listeners are probably tired of hearing this. But anytime I hear that someone is near water, the first thing I ask is, girl, how is the seafood?
The seafood, it is good. I mean, if you love seafood, I mean, you'd be in heaven right here because we have all sorts of variety. We have snapper, we have crab, lobster, mahi, tuna, wahoo, and yeah. And Cayman is spoiled because even though it's a very small country, we have a lot of immigrants here. So it's a melting pot of different
Oh,
cuisines. So you have different fusions going on. It's a food mecca. So if you love seafood and you love food in particular, yeah, you'd love it here. So you should come on over.
honey, you have just sold me on it because I love food. And if you can get seafood infused into everything else,
Everything.
that
Yep.
is me. I love it. I love it. So, Charlene, tell us really just I am curious because I can sense that this is something that is from your heart. How are you loving on the world around you?
I am loving on the world around me by serving them with all my passion and leaning into my purpose. And the reason I say that is because for several years, I felt as if something was missing in my life. I felt as if I was just going through the motions, get up, go to work, come home, make dinner, go to bed, rinse and repeat. But it was not until 2020, and I think several persons had this awakening moment in 2020 because of the pandemic, when I decided to lean into what I knew I was called to do all along, which is to help women with their money.
Mm,
I I became passionate about financial literacy in particular about 8 years prior to that, so about 2012. And it was because of my own financial struggles. I taught myself financial literacy, and I discovered that there are several women just like me who did not know the basics. And because of that, they were struggling unnecessarily. But because of, low self-esteem issues and imposter syndrome, and telling myself that I didn't have the time, I did nothing with that passion, did nothing with that purpose. But it was not until the pandemic had all this time, had time to sit with myself, that I decided that, you know what, it was now or never. And I decided to start sharing with the world. And the feedback has been amazing. I've been able to help several women in particular get over financial stress, get over financial overwhelm, and start to experience their version of financial peace. So yeah, that's how I'm loving on the world right now.
I absolutely love that. And everything that you said, I'm certain, like without a shadow of a doubt, there are more women that resonate with that, that it relates to that than not. And there are more women that resonate with that than would be willing to admit. And
Yeah.
I absolutely love that, I just get the sense that you come from a non-judgmental space. Number one, because you've been there.
Mhm.
You know what that overwhelm feels like. Charlene, how does this really show in other areas of our life? Because I'm sure it does. I listen, transparency moment, I was there at one point in time years ago. So I know the effects that it can have on so many different areas of our life. What are some of the main areas that you're seeing this show up in women's lives?
So money touches everything. That's what many
Mm,
of us don't realize. And I've been able to, when I help women sort out their finances, it translates into every single area of their lives. So
mhm,
the major areas I see where it's impacted is stress overall. Like you get up every day and you're worried about money. You're worried about um not even if the lights are going to get cut off or if you can pay your bills on time, but you're worried about the future. Am I going to have to keep working day in and day out in order to survive? I see it affecting women with their family life. Women don't have enough time to spend with their children because they're busy working or busy trying to make ends meet or busy trying to get ahead in order to maintain the lifestyle. The next area I see it affecting women is in their marriage. Many women don't speak about this, but money is one major area that many couples fight about,
mm,
whether on the top of their voices or probably internalized
mm,
conflict and stress. So there's this underlying tension about money that comes through into relationships, and then you find that person start blaming each other. Why we can't get ahead? Why are you spending so much money? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? And come it just piles on to the point where a lot of women just give up and think, what, this is how it's going to be forever and ever. This is my portion in life. And they never realize that, hey, it is within their power to change it. It is within their power to find other streams of income so that they can get ahead financially. It is
mm.
within their power to get organized with their finances so that they don't have to be working so hard, so they can spend more time with their husbands and with their children, so that they can go on vacation, so that they can take a weekend off, hire someone to come in and clean the house instead of them having to do all the housework after working 40, 50 hours per week. So it affects every single area of life, from health to marriage to confidence. It affects everything.
Wow, I love that. And I love that you're literally opening the book for us and allowing us to see on this hand, this is what you're dealing with. This is what you're struggling with. This is the all of these things that you're having to combat, the stress, the overwhelm, the breaks and fragments in relationship, all of these various things. But then, hey, listen, this is what you can have over here. And I absolutely love that you paint that picture in such a well-rounded way, because this is what people need to see. Because this is more than, hey, I'm a money coach, this is theory. This is actually what you have experienced and what you've helped people with. And so that's different. That, listen, folks, I just want to encourage you, you know, not to throw shade. Please understand that this is not to throw shade on the gurus. These people are not touchable,
Mm.
and they're giving you information that is regurgitated. But in this situation, you're able to reach out to Coach Charlene and say, listen, this is my situation, and have not a cookie cutter solution, but something that is really going to deep dive into your situation and say, listen, this is how you get out.
Yeah.
Charlene, give us just one, we don't want to give the farm away, but give us one tip that can help start the process. For
Yeah.
that one woman that's saying, you know what, that sounds good. That sounds like a great suggestion. But in order to get that, I've already got to pay, because we know that that's one of the pushbacks. Well, how can I pay for your services if I'm having money issues? Well, it can be done. And my head is bobbing because, because we have to be honest. We have to put everything out in the
Mhm.
open. So, what's that one thing that can be done to get them started, get the ball rolling?
So the number one thing which I have spoken about ad nauseum and which
Mm,
persons don't realize has so much power is monitoring your spending.
mm,
Now, I didn't mention this before, but when I hit rock bottom with my finances, I was $22,000 in debt, right? I paid it all off in 15 months and I've never looked back since. That has been over 10 years. I've not held any credit card, student loan, payday loan, unsecured loan, none of the above, only mortgages, right? And this was the one thing that I did to start doing that. It was simply every time I spent money, I had a little notebook. Nowadays, you have apps. Nowadays, you have spreadsheets. But back then, all I took was a little notebook. And every time I went to the grocery store, I went to the mall, I bought takeout, I took a taxi, I took an Uber, whatever it was, I wrote it down. And at the end of every week, I would take 10 minutes and sum it up to say, how much did I spend on takeout this week? How much did I spend at the grocery store? How much did I spend at the mall? And that was alarming
mm,
because it showed me that in my head, I thought I was spending this much, but in reality, I was spending this much.
mm. Oh my goodness.
And just by doing that, I started to make little changes. I started to cut back on certain things. Some things I cut out altogether because I realized I didn't value what I was spending my money on. I was just doing it because I was a shopaholic, right? I
Mm,
did it to fill an emotional need. And when I faced my situation and faced that, hey, I was really wasting money and started diverting it to areas that could get me ahead financially, that's when things changed. That's
mhm.
something I give away for free all the time. If you do it for just 2 weeks, I promise you, you're going to wake up and realize, hey, this is where my money is going. I don't want it to go there. Let me put it here instead. There are several women who think that more income is a solution. Yes, it may be, but first you need to manage what you currently have coming in. And then when more comes in, then you'll be able to manage that even better.
I love it. I absolutely love this. These are the types of conversations that need to be had. The Listen, I'm not judging you, I'm
Mhm.
judging the situation. Listen, I'm not trying to force anything down your throat, but you have to be in a place where you are problem aware and solution seeking.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely love that you are doing this and you're coming to be able to be that strong voice of support and education and information and inspiration to women, because I remember having been in this situation years ago and thinking, how can I get out of it? Had I had someone like you, it probably wouldn't have taken me so long to get out of it. And I'm going to be very honest with you. That one step, that first step that you said to do, that is what I did
Mhm.
initially. That was a wake up call for me because I was working in corporate America at the time. And we talked about how these things can affect so many things around you. It's like the entirety of your world. It's really a display of what's going on internally. At the time, I was overweight. My
Mhm.
blood pressure had skyrocketed to triple digits over triple digits. And when I went to the doctor and they said, if you come back here again like this, you're leaving out in an ambulance.
Wow.
And so when I went home and I went to work and I thought about it and I said, okay, I've got to do something different. And I looked at everything. I ended up losing weight and getting my finances in order. But the thing that I did that really made a huge difference was I realized, and I'm saying this because I want people to know that these things can be real. I looked at my bank statement and I saw where I'm working 10, 11, 12 hours a day in corporate America, extremely overweight, high blood pressure, and in the mornings I'm going downstairs to the cafe to get breakfast. And then I'm going down to the cafe to get lunch.
Mhm.
And then for a snack before they close to get a snack because I know I'm going to be in the office for an extended period of time. So here I was 3 times a day, 5 days a week, and the food was not that great.
Yeah.
And then I'm spending all of this money, but then it's affecting my body as well
Mhm.
because the
Mhm.
food is not healthy. So it was literally all the way around, I was being affected.
Yeah. Money
And so
touches everything.
yeah, and so I give you this view into my life because you need Charlene if you can resonate with any of this. So Charlene, I would love for you to number one, tell us how we can get in touch with you. What is your website? And then number two, any last words of wisdom for those that are listening?
Sure. So I can be reached at my website, www.charlenemoneycoach.com. But if you really want to talk to me, the best place to do that is via Instagram. I have a nice, vibrant community there. I answer all my DMs, no matter who it is. So Charlene Money Coach is my handle there. And yeah, I'd say just reach out. You never know where the conversation might lead. I have tons of freebies, I have tons of resources that I can give away so that you can get started. The number one thing I would say is no matter where you are now, know that your situation can change. It's never too late to turn around your situation. I've worked with women in their 40s and in their 50s who are just seeing the light as it relates to their finances. And they always say, I wish I had started earlier, or I wish I knew this earlier. And I'm like, you know what? We all wish we did differently, but we can only go based on the knowledge that we currently have. The onus is on you taking this information now and doing better with it. So for you, if you're listening to this interview, this is your first step. This is your aha moment. This is your light or signal to show you that, hey, I can change my situation. And trust me, it's not complicated. One of the things I pride myself on is simplifying finance so that you can go away and do it on your own. The key thing is you want to be able to do it consistently. You want to be able to craft it to your lifestyle. And that is what I wholeheartedly believe in. That's what I empower everybody in my community to do, is to make it in such a way where they can do it day in and day out so that they can experience their version of financial peace. Because I believe everybody deserves their version of financial peace.
I love it. And I just want to add to what Charlene has said. This is your aha moment. This is your light. Really and truly, this is your clarion call. This is your clarion call to do something different, to change the narrative. Everyone wants to say, I'm leveling up, but they're using the same regurgitated information, which means they're running in a circle, doing the same thing, but really deceiving themselves and saying they're leveling up. Let's not take that into the next year. So, folks, this has been another great episode of Go Be Great with Coach Karena. We've had Charlene, the money coach. Reach out to her, chat with her on IG. She's there. She's got a vibrant community. Y'all, let's get it. Let's really, truly level up. So, I will see you all on the flip side. Bye for now.